Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Madcapper and there's another video on Raid Shadow Legends. This video is something I don't normally do, but in commemoration of our 50 videos of the I Built Them So You Don't Have To series, I'm going to do 3 videos of top 5s. Like I said, don't normally do the top 5s, but I think it'd be really fun to review kind of the past videos I've done on the various champions. And so this video is going to be my top 5 favorite champions of the I Built Them series. We're going to follow that up with the worst 5, or my least favorite 5, and the 5 most surprising. So without further ado, let's get into it. Here is my top 5 favorite I Built Them So You Don't Have To champions. Coming in at number 5 is Excruciator. The reason I like her is it's kind of twofold. She was one of the first champions I built for the series. I actually built her twice. I built her on a do not skip on this champion, or do not sleep on this champion. Then I did it again for the I Built Them So You Don't Have To. She is really fun, though she has kind of been antiquated through the many different champions that have been released since then. But I said she had a whole bunch. She was so much fun in the arena, and the reason's quite simple. She has an amazing kit that allows you to block revive, enter upon Veil, and put yourself back on Veil anytime you kill an enemy champion. Unfortunately, her low HP and defense didn't make her that great for PvE content, but she was really good for PvP content, especially when you're going up against double revive and those sort of different meta champions at the time. She was short-lived, however, because unfortunately, the entrance of Tormund, and originally his ability to freeze anytime seemingly at whim, absolutely hard counted Excruciator until they finally fixed it so abilities that came into the ring, in case of her Veil, no longer froze you. But by then, we had kind of moved on from these niche champions that could counter Tormund by blocking his revive. We kind of moved away from that to some other more applicable champions like Phoenix and those sort of champions. You know, and if they Blood Twins, another good example. But Excruciator for that small point of time was absolutely really fun in the arena. She hits really hard. She doesn't quite hit as hard as some of the other champions that I'm going to be featuring in this top 5 list. Nonetheless, she holds a special place in my heart. So there she is, number 5, Excruciator. Number 4 on the list is Inquisitor Chamele. You may be asking yourself, how did he get into the I Built Them So You Don't Have To? Well, on Twitch, we do if you get me to a level 5 hype train, I will pull shards, the next epic. Unless I already have the video, we'll make a video on Inquisitor Chamele was one of those, and no regrets whatsoever. This champion is absolutely top tier. In of itself, just his passive dealing with True Fear, not only blocking True Fear for teammates and then counter-attacking, which in itself is a crazy ability, but on top of that, his A2 hits like a truck. You can delete just about any champion in this game. All it requires is some buffs on your side and for him to have a target to hit. He is absolutely fun. And this is a common thread, by the way, for this series, is these hard-hitting nuke champions are the ones that are kind of being featured in this one, and he is no different. One of the newer champions as well, so it's nice to get one of them on the list. But absolutely, Inquisitor Chamele, just a next level champion with his abilities, and the fact that he hits so hard makes him just that much more fun. You can use him in the Doom Tower if you're ever having problems in Doom Tower with Fear, or with just a sticky defensive-based champion that you can't seem to kill. Inquisitor Chamele, put him in, coach. He's your closer. He's the wild thing, and he'll absolutely do damage for you. Number 3 on the list is Hexia. She can do next level damage. I'm pretty sure that among the epics, she has the hardest hitting ability in the game. It is situational. It does require a lot of prep. Knight Errant might be close to the same, but she can do this at any time. And unlike Inquisitor Chamele, who requires buffs, all she requires is debuffs. So what we did, and unfortunately I lost the footage, which is why the videos have been silent for a little while. Hexia, I put her in with Gurp Tuck to be able to put poisons on ourselves and increase damage based on that. Then we also brought in Bad L to poison the enemy and increase damages based on that. And then we let Hexia go. And she was hitting upwards of 300,000 damage on a single target. Well beyond what any of the other champions on my account can do. Certainly more than any of the epics. And certainly more than we've ever showcased in this thing. I feel like Hexia Knight Errant is probably Fight Night in the future that might be happening. But absolutely fun to watch her melt champions. And then, why not? Let's give her extra turn. Let's give her an A3 that helps heal her. Let's put defense down on her A1, even though it's not 100%. Everything about her, fun. She hits hard. She hits ridiculous. And that's why she's in my number 3 position for favorite champion. Number 2 on my list by a razor margin is Alika. Alika is someone that has grown on me by day. Ever since I made her, I absolutely said she's amazing. She works really well, but man, oh man, the books. Well, the more I progress in the game, the more I seem to be using her, including a top 5 world score on one of the bosses in the Doom Tower before the latest reset. She can hit so hard on her A3. It's an AoE. It hits very hard, and it can actually increase cooldowns by 1. So if this is in sustained battles where you're going through multiple rounds of this, then that's going to come in handy. But honestly, it's really about the damage she does. Her A2 is a single target that ignores 50% defense, which means it's going to hit even harder. This can delete most enemies. It's a very hard skill, and it's actually kind of rare to have 2 skills on an epic that hit equally hard, and that's what this is about. But not only that, what makes her special is her A1. Her A1 hits as hard as most other epics in the game. It's that kind of that hard hitting. She's a nuking champion. Her A1 hits very well. It even hits as hard as most legendaries for an A1. But she has a 50% chance of it happening twice. And that second hit hits as hard as the first. And combined, that damage is can be astronomical. It's what helped me get into that Doom Tower top 5 global. She's an amazing champion. The reason why she's not number 1 is quite simple. She needs 20 books, and she needs those books. The end of each of those lines is hidden in actual needed things. Like her A1 has a 10% debuff chance. Her A2 has a cooldown, and her A3 has a cooldown, with even the ones before it being a debuff chance, being a second cooldown, and being a second debuff chance. So you can't really... She's good without books, but not good enough to make this list. You need those books, and 20 books is just... It's criminal. So that is why she didn't make number 1. Before we hit the number 1, it's time for some honorable mentions. There are 2 champions that I want to give honorable mentions to that I left off this list, even though they probably should be included, as they may be the best 2 champions I've built in the series altogether. The first is Miscreated Monster. He was another one of those Twitch type champions where we opened the next epic. It was him, so I built him for the series. But honestly, you don't need the series to tell you that Miscreated Monster is one of the top, maybe the top progression-wise, epic in the game. He is among the other stalwart heroes such as Tyrell and Madame Ceres that is just a must-have epic for everyone to use. He is good into Dungeon 25s. He was definitely a mainstay in Dungeon 20s and Spider, Ice Golem. He is also good for progression into Doom Tower, Faction Wars, and anywhere else you need stuns, you need shields. He does everything, and he does it very well. Ever since he was entered into the game, ironically, he's probably twice the champion of Miscreated Monster, or sorry, of Brachus and Harvest Jack, who are the 2 legendaries who were introduced at the same time. That rare moment in time when Madame Ceres and Miscreated Monster both came into the game with 2 very good legendaries, those 2 are probably the most sought-after epics in the game for the kit and what they can do for your account. Just an amazing champion, but unfortunately, the reason why I left him off the list is because A, I had already had him at 60 for a very long time before the video came out, and everyone kind of already knows. So it doesn't really feel the spirit of the I built them so you don't have to. Champions like Inquisitor Chamele is brand new to the game. You may not know of him, even though he is a hard-hitting and great champion. So I can understand that. He's definitely a big pour. Hexia, there's been a couple videos, but a lot of people didn't know how hard she can hit and how hard that A2 can absolutely melt, and A3 can melt people. But in the case of Miscreated Monster, I think everyone knows, so I didn't mind putting the video out because it was a Twitch thing, and it's kind of the standing rule on Twitch. But overall, it just made sense to keep him off this particular list. Also, these are my favorite champions to build, and when you've had a champion for 6 months, they kind of become part of your norm, and they aren't quite that ooh, wow factor that the other champions on this list are. The other one I left off the list is the last one I made, or one of the last ones I made, Ursula. Ursula the Mourner is an epic by the highest of standards. Her ability to support your team runs through everything, and just like I said when I made the video, I suspect she'll be good into Dungeon 25s. She is. Anytime you can't just clear waves, especially if you don't have a Seer, she's almost integral because she has the attack down, she has revives, she has strengthen. If you do have Seer, she still works perfectly fine because she has self buffs, team buffs that can help Seer, you know, do the damage that she does. So either way, she's absolutely usable. She is a top tier champion, but same with Miscreated Monster, it is widely known how good a champion she is. It's been well documented, even though she is a newer champion, so you could argue. Nonetheless, I decided that it's probably best to keep her off the list. So those two are honorable mentions. They're definitely two of the best epics I've built in or out of the series, but we decided to keep them off the list. And so without further ado, let's talk about the number one, my favorite champion built for the I Built Them So You Don't Have To. For fans of the series, this should not be any shock. The number one I Built Them So You Don't Have To champion is Phoenix. This champion, first off, just from a nostalgia piece, this is the champion that set this channel on its progression forward. I was making content from about December prior, but this sometime in the spring of that same year, this champion and my video of it was actually featured by two other content creators, none other than Farting Cows and Murder Inc., and helped propel me forward in my goal of, you know, building this channel out and helping you guys out. It also is what signified that this series was something good. It was something that actually would be helpful for you guys, and so it's kind of the reason, Phoenix is the reason why I built the series. But that isn't enough to make him number one. What makes him number one is his kit. His kit is so relevant even now. He has a bunch of different abilities that are absolutely amazing to use in all areas of the game. He has an A3 that puts a slow and a decreased defense. It is a 60% chance, but that decreased speed, great for late game dungeons, great for the 20 to 25 dungeons if you need that. But that's not all. He's got an AoE that hits reasonably hard and can either block buffs or block active skills. So either you're not getting a buff, or you're not going to be able to buff anyone else. This combination of debuffs on an 80% chance is amazing and absolutely can lock out teams, especially in the arena where you need that kind of quick lockout. Then he can follow it up with what I would say is the number one A1 skill in the entire game. I don't care about what level of rarity your champion is. This thing hits very hard. And it places 2 hits if the team has any debuffs. And on top of it, it blocks revive. This is the only skill that hits, that I've played around with, that hits harder than even Alika's double hit. This thing can hit twice at near 100k values in dungeons. And man, oh man, when you take him into the arena and you need to block someone out, this champion will do the job. Phoenix is by far and large one of the most, at the time, underrated champions in the game. I don't think a lot of people were talking about him. I don't feel like a lot of people were really paying attention to the kit and what this guy can do. Especially when I featured him was around the time that Siphi Rotos came into play. So now you've got a champion that all you need is a debuff and he can 2-hit your Rotos and block revive, so Siphi can't bring him back up. This was an absolutely amazing champion. Also, Tormund was able to hard counter Tormund by hitting really hard. All you needed was a debuff on Tormund. He could one-shot Tormund effectively and block revive. It's an amazing champion. He's got a full toolkit that you can use anywhere in the game. Though I will say his stats, his hard raw stats, make him a little bit difficult to push into the end game. But these epic champions aren't necessarily about that. They're about progression. They're about mid game. They're about pushing into the late game. They're about usability, and this champion still has usability into the end game in every facet of this game. Doom Tower, Faction Wars, Arena, and even Dungeons. So, there we have it. That is my top 5 favorite champions of the I Built Them So You Don't Have To series. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope if you hadn't had a chance to watch any of the videos, there will be links in the description down below to quickly go check out those 5 videos. I thank you for your time. Please like and subscribe. Share it with your friends, family, close relatives. Spam it. Make Hell Hades. Tell everyone to go there if you have that chance. I don't know. Coming up with things. But overall, please appreciate you. Please stay safe. Please be well. Be kind to one another. And we'll see you in the next video.